if you know best-selling author Warren St. John. How are you today?
Doing great.
Fantastic. Let's get right into it. Who are your favorite writers?
It depends a bit on my mood, but I like Michael Lewis and David Remnick as narrative nonfiction writers. I also like detective fiction and like to read John D. MacDonald and Raymond Chandler, and Moby Dick is probably my favorite book, which I read and reread constantly. So I think my tastes are somewhere between eclectic and totally disorganized.
What are you reading now, or what was the last book you finished?
Last book I finished was Sag Harbor by Colson Whitehead, and I tend to read several books at the same time, back to this theme of disorganization, and just got Freedom, the Jonathan Franzen novel, which I'm probably already behind the curve and not having read yet since it's been out a week or 10 days, but looking forward to reading it.
Now for something completely different. What is your favorite breakfast food?
My favorite breakfast food, without a doubt, is coffee, and that's how I sustain myself in the mornings and in the afternoons.
Breakfast of champions.
Absolutely. It goes well with anything.
Which living person do you most admire?
I'd say with probably Nelson Mandela. He is, to my mind, the greatest living example of how to live a life of grace, and the fact that he has avoided bitterness given his experience and brought a nation together is pretty profound achievement. I actually saw the ticker tape parade in New York for him soon after his release. It's something I'll never forget.
What is your most treasured possession?
Probably my bicycle, because it's I'm a obsessed cyclist, probably pathologically so. And when you're writing and you're sitting there stationary for sometimes hours at a time, to have something that takes you out into the world and lets you exercise and see, I get to see New York from a completely different perspective, and it's without it, I think I'd probably just go berserk in a matter of hours.
I understand. Which talent would you most like to have?
Probably the ability to play a musical instrument fluidly or well enough to improvise. I've tried guitar. I was actually in a bluegrass band for a while and played badly, but I never was able to sort of go over the hump where you can just play without thinking, and I've always been jealous of people who've been able to do that.
What do you consider the most overrated virtue?
I think politeness, and that's because while I try to be polite, I'm all for politeness. I've just met too many people who do spectacular things and who aren't polite, so I've learned that it's not necessarily an indicator of what a person is capable of or accomplishing in the world.
If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
I think my inability to speak Mandarin or really any other language. I speak Italian quite badly. I can understand Spanish and babble a few phrases, but I wish I just spoke more languages.
Which words or phrases do you most overuse?
I'm not sure I would know how to respond to that, except that last week I gave a talk at a college, and a young student, freshman, came up and asked for her book to be signed. And I just finished my talk, and I said casually, "How'd I do?" And she said, "You did fine, but you said a lot." So apparently I say too much.
Fair enough. And finally, what is your idea of perfect happiness?
I think I'm lucky because I think I've got it. Just waking up in the morning with my 17-month-old daughter and giving her a bottle and having a cup of coffee and sitting together in the morning is about as content as I could ever hope to be.
Very good. We've been speaking with Warren St. John, best-selling author, and thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it.
Thanks for the questions.